This weekend, we are watching a system that's going to be moving in that will be bringing lots of cold air to much of the Great Plains as well as into the southeast. And this cold is expected to continue until next Wednesday and will be finally pushed off to where we have our next incoming ridge that will build, bring back our temperatures to become warmer. So in this video, we're going to be going over that as well as kind of what we can expect over the next couple days, and also a chance of snow possibilities exist Saturday, as we have again, yes, our main system that comes through, but also we got a little snow system that could be coming our way. So let's take a look at the upper pattern. Currently aloft, we see this nice area of flow here. This is fairly zonal, in especially across areas like the Ohio Valley, as well into a little bit of the Dakotas. It's fairly zonal. Really means west to east winds flowing, and so basically meaning we don't have any very turbulent up and down type of patterns, just fairly just straightly oriented winds. So really nothing that big of a weather system is going on besides what's going on in the Pacific Northwest, which is what we call an atmospheric river that is sending in lots of moisture, Pacific moisture inland that goes up and over the mountains. And when it happens, it causes an enhancement of cloud development that causes lots of periods of heavy rainfall over the same area over and over again. And that will be causing lots of chances for flooding, as well as strong winds that will be occurring there as well. And so let's take a look at our weather pattern as we press forward here. Continue to watch this nice area of a trough begin to emerge off to the east, as we have this nice strengthening area of a enhanced flow aloft across New Jersey area, and we could expect chances of snow showers and stuff to exist during that time frame as that upper trough will move off to the east. As we continue to press forward, our focus then shifts toward Canada, as we have our upper level low here situated here, and this is the main factor which we could see our cold air begin to being ushered down into the Great Plains, and eventually will then be kind of pushed out into the southeast. As you see, there's just this big lobe of an upper level low that will kind of progress southward, and then during this time too, we'll just have a large chunk of cold air that will be moving across the Dakotas, and then it will be kind of spilling out into like Kansas, Oklahoma, into the southeast as well, as we continue over the next day or so. This is our temperature anomaly, so this kind of gives you the average temperature during the time here, and you can see that we got nice temperatures being found across the Great Plains here, as well as a little bit of the further west in like Texas area. It's fairly nice and warm. However, this is going to change as we have our area of a low pressure system aloft that's going to be bringing this cold down here. As you can see, this area of cold air. Now this will only continue to deepen as we continue Saturday, as we have just this huge chunk of just cold air that's going to be emerging and moving into South Dakota, where we can see very well below temperatures here to make to way below freezing level. We could even see temperatures begin into the teens, and even some parts of South Dakota could be even seeing single digits, which that's crazy. That's really crazy, especially for this time of year. And so this area will then continue to press forward downward and just spill out everywhere across the southeast and even into Texas area, where we could see very cold temperatures, much colder than what you would typically see for this time of year. And we are expecting this area to kind of just spill across most of the southeast into Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida. Like it's a big impactful system that we bring much below temperatures. As we continue to press forward, we'll have an area of ridging that will build out to the west. This will make our warmer air temperatures return, and then this pattern will also help push out the cold into the east east northeast. You should see this occur by around Wednesday, and then we'll see that nice warm return of the warm temperatures across much of the uh, Great Plains and then into the west. Eventually, we'll see this continuation the east as well. Taking a look here, here's the 300 millibar level. This is just a little higher above the 500 millibar. This kind of gives you kind of a better idea of kind of what things will look like here with this system. The reason why we want to go up is so then we can get kind of a better picture of how this is going to be structurally done in the upper atmosphere. This is definitely a very dynamic upper level low that will. So besides this upper level low that will be bringing lots of cold air to much of the area, we're also have our eye on something else. You see right here. This is a shortwave trough. And the reason why we have our eye on this is because this little kink right here will cause enhancement in lift and ascent for the develop a little system that will develop at the surface. And this little area will actually cause our chances for snow this coming Saturday. So here at the surface, we see kind of a few chances of here snow, but then let's head and we'll take a look at right here. This is our system that we're watching, and we are not expecting this to be a big snow producer, but definitely if anything occurs, it will be a wet snow event. As you see, you kind of see this little thing kind of skirt across the Dakotas and then into a little bit of farther southern Minnesota, but most of the heavier snow based on the GFS is showing it would be across more of the northern Iowa. But so the time frame at which it will be across much coverage of Minnesota, this is at around noontime Saturday. And so it is not a guarantee it will cover much of the Twin Cities. It would be probably most of found farther southwest Minnesota, kind of where closer to Sioux Falls area is where you could see the best chances of snow. And given to we are not expecting the snow that if it does fall, it's not going to really stick to the ground as much, because given the ground is still warm from our temperatures that are still in the 50s and 60s, and so do not expect inches of snow to be found across Minnesota and Iowa. Maybe at the most we could get an inch or so, or if the system manages to do that. But I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at when it comes to this. So the reason why it would be wet and heavy, possibly, or at least wet, is given that the surface here is very saturated, so that's a good sign. The more saturated it is, the more puffier the snowflakes will be. And then also another thing to note out too, temperatures 35 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be a kind of a sloppy mess almost. So more of a mixed, could be a snowy / kind of mixed with rain type setup is kind of what we're looking at here. And so definitely it will probably be an inconvenience for some, but others might disagree and think it's great that we're going to be having snow, which I'm one of those people. I like snow. So yeah, that's one of our first snow systems of the year here that will be bringing an actual definite area of low pressure that will be having snow on one side. And so definitely on the back side of this, we could maybe see a few scattered little isolated patches of snow showers, but it might be a little tricky here. The Great Lakes region, we could maybe see our first chances of lake effect snow here. As you kind of see if you see on the model here, see kind of this lingering effect here across the lakes here, and that is what we call lake effect snow, which is you have a system or snow system that moves over a lake that is warm, and the fact that the lake is warm allows for convection to occur, making additional chances of snow to develop. It's a really fascinating phenomenon that occurs over lakes, but this is things that happens all the time, especially during the winter season. That's when sometimes you get those heavy snow events. And so definitely, if this is going to be occurring, we could expect several inches, maybe a few inches, to occur around this area across New York, Pennsylvania, and yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on right here. You can definitely see a few inches possible if we see this lake effect, snow effect. Beyond this major pattern, we're going to be seeing, like I mentioned before, areas of building ridging here, which means essentially areas of high pressure that will develop and evict warm air back into the west, and then this will actually be then pushed further east as we continue into the future here on the model. That will cause things to kind of warm up for much of the west and then into the upper Great Plains too. So this is what we see here. So this is the cold. It's going to be moving off, and then we got this nice area of warm air that will kind of make its way back. And actually, this warmth will actually stay quite a while in the GFS, and it just keeps showing areas of just warmth for a long time. And so that's why the Climate Prediction Center has actually put out a kind of above average area of warm temperatures to be found across much of the west and upper Great Plains here. So this Thanksgiving probably will be a warmer one, probably much warmer than what we typically see. So I guess that will be a bonus. So we're not going to be freezing. We're just going to be it's not going to be like really warm, like 70s. It's just going to be above your typical average. And so that will be nice. So let's take a look at our local temperatures for when this Arctic air will come through. So here we go. So as the system comes through, we'll see the initial 20s or so. This is around early Saturday morning. This would be kind of around midnight time, just 20s and stuff. But then once we continue to get deeper and deeper, you see those temps really drop. This is Sunday morning. This coming Sunday morning, we see temperatures in the single digits. And even if you go into like areas like far eastern South Dakota, you see negative temperatures. That is crazy. Single digits to even negative temperatures. Now again, we're looking at the wind chills. So this is going to be cold, really cold. And so yeah, Sunday morning will be a chilly one, very chilly. That will most likely be the coldest day of this weekend here. But then as we continue to press forward, so temperatures are going to warm up back into the 20s and then 30s, and then finally we'll get back into the 40s and 30s again. So beyond this weekend, we can just expect fairly clear weather as we have dominant area of high pressure that will be moving in from our ridging that we mentioned. And so it's going to based on what this GFS model is showing, it's going to be fairly calm across most of the continental U.S. So we have a fairly calm pattern that will we kind of could see maybe a few things happen, maybe closer to the Pacific Northwest, but not really much is being seen here. Just main thing to watch for this week is maybe a few chances of rain Friday afternoon, and then our main little snow system that's going to be kind of moving its way from the Dakotas into Iowa and a little portion of far southern Minnesota. And that's going to move off, and then that's when our cold will move in, and then after that we get our warm up, and then things clear out. So that's your weekly and extended forecast. So be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.